Well, there it is. Sorry, I don't know. I've got this MacBook Pro, and I don't know. I guess it's me, but it just doesn't always work great for me. I try to get music on this thing. Like I try to play YouTube at the same time I'm starting this, and it just won't. It just won't do it. Maybe it's because I'm here in the Philippines. I don't know. Because connections here are really poor. Everything seems to work poor here. I just want to jabber on a little bit again. Uh, I don't know. I want to speak my mind, and I'm tired of seeing what I'm seeing. So I'm going to speak up. And if it annoys you, that's fine. You can leave me a nasty comment. Um, if you agree, that's great too. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I see things. Not maybe. I know I see things differently than a lot of people do. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about several things. But the biggest thing is mind control. Do you believe in mind control? Do you believe that it's there? Do you believe that it's happening? I know that the leftists believe that the right is being mind controlled by Trump and Trump's administration, and the Trump supporters believe that the left is completely being mind controlled. I want to suggest that everybody is. We're all being mind controlled. And I think you can see that every time you go to the store and you have to pack your mask with you. You're being mind controlled. They talk about the new normal, and you say, "Well, not me. I'm not going to do this. I'm being forced to, and that's the only reason I'm doing it." It doesn't matter. It's the norm. It is the norm. You now see good people posting their pictures on Facebook like this. This is now their picture on Facebook is like this. You see it all over the place. It has become the normal. Just for the heck of it, I just watched a couple videos on YouTube. One in support of masks and one against masks. I will say that the one against masks was actually had a lot of talk by the WHO, the World Health Organization, saying that no, you shouldn't be wearing a mask. If you're healthy, there is no reason that you should be wearing a mask. And then I watched another one, and I admit that if you already believed in masks, he was doing a good job. He was doing a really good job. If you looked at it skeptically and with a skeptical eye, you'd realize that this is ridiculous. And I'm sorry, masks don't work. The big talk was water droplets, water droplets, water droplets. There's all these fluid droplets, and that's carrying the. And sure, if you sneeze or cough into your mask, and it'll stop those. It'll leave it on the inside of your mask, but it'll stop it from spreading into the immediate area. But it does nothing to stop an airborne virus. It doesn't happen. You see, on airplanes, it's mandatory. Everybody's supposed to wear their mask on an airplane. That is the most ridiculous thing. I mean, here you're in this controlled environment in this tube where everybody's breathing like you're gonna somehow only breathe your own air. It just doesn't make any sense. And yet, we're all doing it. We're all doing it. You see reporters on TV wearing their masks. It's just ridiculous. I just please realize that we are all being mind controlled, and I'm going to talk about some more of this. And I know that many of you won't believe it because you can't possibly be mind controlled. It's only the other guy. The reason I constantly ask people to please study the flat Earth, study the flat Earth, because you can see it. It's easy to see that the Earth is flat. I mean, the lies are all around you. You see people posting pictures from the ISS or uh, from satellites taking pictures and stuff like that. Look at those pictures. Just look at them and think about them. They're obviously lies. It's just silliness. There's no stars in the background. There's no satellites circling the Earth. They tell us there's 50,000 satellites. So one of the two is a lie. Either the ISS is a lie, or there are no satellites circling the Earth. One of the two. You at least have to say that. But if you'll study the flat Earth, you'll realize that your horizon is flat. That is a flat horizon. You'll realize that water seeks its level. Water always seeks a level. That's why all streams go downhill. They're not affected by this 1,000 mile spin of the earth or the 66.6 thousand miles an hour that is supposed to be circling the sun. It has no effect on water at all, and that's because it's not there. It's just not there. You know, everybody talks about freedom. Freedom is the ability to choose, and we want to control our freedom. We want to maintain our freedom. We have to have our freedom. That's, you want to hang on to your freedom. And then what do they tell you? Well, freedom isn't free. People need to die for freedom. That's very important, that a lot of people die to protect your freedom, and you have to accept that. You have to accept that in order to be free, people somewhere need to die for that. That's very important. Think about this for a minute. That's not choice. That's restricting you to choose death. That's your choice, is you get to choose death. And then it's them, they're allowing you to choose. This is something that they're giving to you, this freedom of choice. Everything about around you is being removed. All choice is being removed. You get to choose between A or B. There is no C. You get to be a Democrat or you get to be a Republican. That's your choice, is to be a Democrat or to be a Republican. And that's your choice. You're going to have a choice here pretty soon. You're going to have a choice. They're going to give you more freedom. The freedom is you don't have to wear a mask and you can travel where you want to, if you'll get your implant and you'll get your vaccine. That will be your choice. Your choice will be limited to that. Mark my words, this is coming. They're taking away choice faster than they're giving it to you. Masks don't work. Masks can't work. You do a little study on it. Do a little study on the size of a viral particle. You'll understand, what's going on. Most of the air doesn't even go through a mask. It goes around a mask. The reason they wear masks in surgery is not for the protection of the patient. It's really for the protection of the person doing the surgery, to protect from blood particles coming out of the wound, which happens fairly frequently in a surgery. Um, anyway, you'll be given a choice. You'll be allowed to travel if you'll get your vaccine. That's coming. I think the ultimate control really is money. Money is control. When money was created, it immediately restricts. It just right off the bat, it restricts. There's a shortage of it. There's this much money, and the more of that you can get, the more you can have. You can have stuff if you'll get your money. But we're constantly being controlled by this influx of information that they give to us. Think about it over the years. Right now, it's be afraid of C-19. C-19 is going to get you. It's going to kill you. You not only do you need to be afraid of C-19, you need to be afraid of your grandmother. Grandmother might give it to you. You don't want to get together with your family. You don't want to go out without a mask on. You need to be afraid of that. Be scared. Be scared of the Russians. How many years have we be afraid of those Russians? How many years have we heard that? Now it's be afraid of China. China's taking over. China's going to control the world. They're the ones that are in control now. You need to be afraid of that. Hey, I put turmeric in my coffee because it's supposed to be good anti-inflammatory. And you see YouTube videos on how wonderful it is. It's bad. It makes bad tasting coffee. Don't believe it. You can use it if you want it for an anti-inflammatory, but don't plan on it tasting good. It tastes like crap. Now, be afraid of Syria. Syria is going to get you. Be afraid of Arabia. Arabia is a dangerous place. Those Arabs are going to get you. Be afraid of the communists, the socialists. They're going to take over the world. You need to be afraid of those socialists. Be afraid of Iraq. Be afraid of Iran. Be afraid of death. Be afraid of death. How long have we heard this? You need to have your life insurance because death might get you. Death might get your family. Might get your family. Death is more natural than life almost. I mean, really, the only thing we're guaranteed at birth is that might be your last breath. That's the only guarantee you have. And yet for some reason, we're supposed to be very afraid of death. I think we need to get over this. Death is a very natural occurrence. It's not to be feared or mourned or anything like that. Be afraid of water shortage. Water is in, you don't want to use too much water. You want to be really careful. Think about this for a minute. It doesn't matter if you believe in the flat earth or not. It doesn't matter if you believe in the globular earth or not. They're both an enclosed system. In the ball earthers, they believe that the magical energy of gravity holds everything in. It even holds the atmosphere in, and nothing can get past the atmosphere. So how could there possibly be a water shortage? I'm not saying there can't be times of drought in given areas, but all the water that's here is always here. It's not going away, it's not increasing, it's not decreasing. It just goes up and it comes back down again. There can be no water shortage. It can't happen. And if you believe in a flat earth, well, a lot of flat earthers believe there's a dome over the top of the earth, and that's what's keeping it in. That sort of sounds like the same thing as atmosphere. I don't know if it's there or not, but that keeps in the water. All I'm saying is that water is here. It will always be here. It's not going to go anywhere. uh, and now there's this big thing. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but give these things some thought. People post this stuff. We need to praise our farmers. Those are our heroes. Farmers and truckers and military. Those are your heroes. Your heroes bring you food. Without a farmer or trucker, you don't have any food. Well, what about a garden? What about we grow our own food in our backyard? What's wrong with that? Why can't we grow our own food and trade with our neighbors? I mean, this is something that 90% of the world or more can do. And the other 10%, well, we can feed them. We can just give them of our abundance, can't we? We don't need to praise farmers and truckers and have these heroes. We don't need that. We don't need farms. We need to get away from that. That's what we need to do. We need to stop needing heroes. There's this big thing. Well, you can't be free without your military. Those are your heroes. They're protecting your heroes. They're protecting your freedoms, I mean. No, they're not protecting your freedoms. All they're doing is going around the world killing people. They're just sucking up the energy that you put into working, and they take it away from you in taxes and give it to this giant military machine, which you've been warned about even by the presidents of the United States. The new normal is here. It's here. We've accepted it. It's already among us. It is the norm now to wear your mask. For most people, it's become the norm. Not for most. For many, it's become the norm. For your children, your grandchildren, it will be the norm. I don't know what's going on with masks, why they want us to wear them. I have thoughts on it, but I don't know for sure what's going on. But there's something really strange about it. People say, well, AI can't happen. We're not going to be taken over by computers. Well, we already are taken over by computers. It's already here. Think about what you post on Facebook every single day, what you read on Facebook over and over and over. You don't read people's thoughts. You read a message that they found on Facebook that they posted again on Facebook. That's what we read all the time. Nobody makes videos and posts them. Very few people are posting pictures of their families on Facebook or their kids, or all we do is post our political memes, our religious memes over and over and over again. We don't post our own thoughts. We don't have any of our own thoughts anymore. Even our pictures, this is who we are now. This is who everybody is. We are this person, except for the little cartoonish character that we've chosen for ourselves by picking our hair and our eyes and our body type. And then we post that up as this is me now. We are AI. It is, imagine where this is going to be in another 10 years, in another 20 years. Can you look that far into the future? They're taking away freedom of speech. You can't even say anymore that this stuff is wrong and a conspiracy and a lot of nonsense. They're taking that away. They're curbing people like David Icke and Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's pretty outspoken. What's the guy's name? I forget his name. But they pulled him off of Facebook and they pulled him off of YouTube. I mean, they just took him away because he was being outspoken, because he spoke out against some of the crap that's going on. If you say that C19 is a lie, they're going to pull you off. They won't let you do that. Because why? Because if you realize that COVID is a lie, then you also realize that the measles is a lie. You realize that AIDS is a lie. You realize that the death of Jack Kennedy was a lie. You'll start to realize that the earth is a lie. The earth is flat. It's not round. When you look into these things, you start to realize that we are covered in lies. It's all around us. And I've got some other stuff on here, but I guess I better not say it right now because it'll offend you too much. But please start to understand, not understand, recognize the lies that are all around you. See them. And that's why I say study the flat earth, because everybody can see that the earth is flat. Watch anything by NASA, anything by NASA. They're constantly posting lies all the time, and it's easy to see. Please look at it and just think when you see it. Don't think, oh, that's a wonderful picture of the galaxies that are millions of light years away that NASA is now showing us. They tell us that the sun is 93 million miles from Earth. 93 million miles. That's how far they have told us the sun is from the Earth. And it's this massive, massive structure, hundreds of times the size of the Earth. And yet, when you go out to a body of water, you'll see a streak of light coming across it. Can that actually happen from 93 million miles? Can you figure that out? Can you figure out how here, where I am, living close to the equator, I'm fairly close to the equator, where it's 85 degrees constantly, constantly 85 degrees. Might be 80 today. Feels pretty nice out here. But it's just this constant temperature. And I go a mere 1,000 miles north or south, and it could be snowing right now. 1,000 miles. So the sun, which is a million miles away from me, excuse me, 93 million miles away, leaves this streak around the Earth, supposedly around the Earth, where it's warm all the time, and yet a little bit to the up or down from there, and it's snowing from 93 million miles away. Does that make sense? Come on, we've got to start thinking about this. This is important. It's important to recognize, because when you see this, you'll start seeing all of the lies. They're all around us, they're all the time. I love you. Peace at this wonderful season. But let's start being smarter than we've been trained to be. Thanks, folks. Thanks for listening if you listen. Thanks.